Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope you all are doing well. Today I thought that I would show you how I made my prayer journal. I did a flip through and I'll put it in the end card because it is complete now. And some people asked how I made it. So because I need to make myself a new one now, I thought that I would show you how I made it. It's going to be more than a one-part video. It'll probably be a two-part, but I'll just give you the general idea. So this is like a Midori, I guess, style, or Traveler's Notebook style. It has 3 separate signatures in it, okay? So this is the middle of the middle signature right here, and it is being held in with an elastic. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the middle right here, and it's being held in with an elastic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slip it out, okay? And this is to show you the mechanism, okay? So that's one signature right there, and I'm just gonna put that down. And then these are the two signatures that are on the side. They are also being held in with an elastic. So I'm going to take them out. Okay. And see, everything is being held in with just one elastic. Well, actually 2, but I'm only putting them through 1. You can put them through 2 if you want to, but I just had mine sliding in through this one here. These 2 are held together by an elastic that is tied together. So in the middle of this one, there's the knot, and then in the middle of this one, wherever that is, see if I can find it for you here, right here, you know, it's not. So super easy, and I tried to find the video. I know I saved it somewhere where I learned how to do this. And if I find it, I will put that also in the end card. But until then, you can just follow my instruction, and I'll try to keep it as simple as I can, okay? So I'm just going to put those aside so we can just look at this. Now, this one is made from 2 pieces of wallpaper that were glued together. These are like vinyl-y wallpaper, so it's got a pretty good heft to it. It wears really well, and I picked 2 that were kind of the same color, even though they're not the same texture. This one's kind of marbly, and then this is more like lines going up and down. So I love the size of this, and so I measured this, and this one measures 7.5 by 11. This is 7.5 by 11. So I'm going to make my new one that way too. And this was just a little plastic inserts. If you look at the flip through, you'll see what those were. I want my new one to be the same size. So what you need to do is decide, what are you going to make your cover from? If you're doing this journal, you want something that will bend. Now, I really wanted to use some fabric, okay? I got this fabric at the reuse store, and I thought it was really cute, and I thought, because I usually have my prayer book very bright, that I wanted it, like this would be a great cover, but I needed some heft underneath because this is not a good cover. It's just too thin. Even gluing 2 pieces of fabric together for me is not enough. So what I did was I got this piece of vinyl. Yeah, it's like pleather. It's pleather, and it's fairly thick. Okay, it's fairly thick. Now I covered this to size. This is 7.5 by 11. What this is, okay, because this stuff is really expensive, and I'm really about recycling everything, you know, and trying to reuse stuff. Guys, this was the back of this piece, which it was a tote bag that I got for almost nothing at a thrift shop. And it's this real heavy pleather. I cut the straps off of it, and I could even use this as the cover and put some interesting paper in the back. I'm not for this journal, but I'm definitely keeping this. So this piece was cut from the back side of a tote bag, okay? And it's, like I said, it's really nice, thick pleather. It doesn't fray or anything. So I want this cloth on the outside, and the pleather will be on the inside of my journal, okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to go ahead and glue it. And if you're going to be gluing fabric to cardboard. You could use cardboard. That would work if you have a thin enough piece of cardboard. You know, something that will bend, but that will give a little bit of heft. That's what you want to do. So you could use cardboard and use fabric on two sides. I might do maybe my next one that way because I was thinking about that. But when I was going through my fabric, I just came across this pleather that I had from this tote bag I bought and disassembled. So I figured, well, you know, let me just go ahead and use the pleather instead. And but next time I might use a pliable cardboard with 2 layers of fabric, you know, one on the inside and one on the outside. I'm not real chuffed about having the pleather on the inside of the cover, but you know, it doesn't bother me that much. That's not what the book's about, right? So I'm using a beacon. This is 3-in-1, but I would use Fabri-Tac or something like that that's going to hold fabric if you're going to be using fabric, even on cardboard, that's fine. So what I really need to do, I'm doing this upside down here. I need to put this down and put this on top. Now, I cut the pleather down after I cut the fabric to the, what did I say? It was 7.5 by 11, I believe. I cut the pleather down a tiny bit. I think 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And see, I didn't iron that. I don't care. I really don't care. And it's fraying on the side, even though it had been pinked. But that just adds to, that's a bonus for me. If this gets nice and fray, I don't mind. It will only fray so far because it's glued down. So it will only fray till it gets to that glued part. So I'm just really making sure that this is on here well. Making sure the glue is dry, you know, nice and dry before we go on to the next step. See, I'm going to fray this because I just love that look. But anyway, there we go. So if you're going to use 2 pieces, obviously, then you'd flip it over and you'd put your other piece of fabric on here if you're using cardboard, like a pliable cardboard. But I wanted to show you, see how I cut it just a little bit big? That's because I want it to kind of fray and be kind of frizzly on the edges. I did pink it, but because I think it would completely unravel if I didn't. But see, this is only going to fray to here because now it's glued to the, it's glued to this. I don't think it's going to fray beyond where it's glued down. And so I have this nice crease here. I don't care because this is going to be, this one was so chunky and bulky. This is going to be bulked out like that. You'll never see this line once it gets filled up. So I'm just going to show you the mechanism for putting this in, and then the next video will work on making the actual signatures and putting how you put them in, okay? So this is how it is. Now, like I said, I'm kind of going blind here because I can't find the video that I made this from. So it looks like I just have 2 holes here, and let me just measure how far down I came. It looks like the first one might be about, what is that, 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch down. So let me go ahead, let me find my middle first of all and see. I might have to actually measure. No, my middle's right here. So I'm going to go ahead right here and let me get a marker or something here. And you know, I am going to measure the middle because I have to, because otherwise I can go all over the place, and I really don't want to do that. So this is 10 7/8 because I did take off. Yeah, no, I'm not. Okay, what's half of 10 7/8? Yeah, no, that's not happening. Okay, so we are going to do it this way. Yeah, I know. I should be able to do the math. I should be able to. It's late in the day right now, and I don't have enough brain cells to do that. So what I'm going to do basically is just make a little line here. You're not going to see it once the I keep my fat head out of this. Once the yeah, I need to do that a little better. Once the inserts are in there, you're not going to see the middle anyway because they're going to be so full. Let's try this one more time. See, this pleather that I'm using is really thick. Really thick. So I'm just, let me see. Do I have something a little more robust? Let me see if this will work. Oops, I moved my line here. See if this will work. Yeah, this will work. I'm just going to make a little line here so I can basically know where my middle is. If you want to do, and I might have gone way off there, I'm not sure. If you want to do the math or do it so that it's a, yeah, see, I did. I went off that way. It goes more like this. If you want to do the math and measure, you knock yourself out, okay? So the line is really here. That's my middle line, not that there. Okay. All right, we're rolling with it. Okay, so now my first hole was 1/4 of an inch in on either end. Both sides are the same. It's 1/4 of an inch right here before I punch the first hole, and it's 1/4 of an inch here before I punch the second hole. So now I'm measuring the pleather, not the fabric. And if you want your fabric and pleather to be the same, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like I said, the only reason I'm doing it this way is because I want a little fringy, a little fringe. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark this one too. Okay, so we're going to have a hole here, right here, and we're going to have a hole here. And each of those is 1/4 of an inch in from the pleather. Now the other hole that I have here is 1/2 an inch. Okay, so now we're going to measure 1/2 an inch. Where's 1/2 an inch? It's here. Well, that can't be. Then that wasn't 1/4 of an inch, Helen. No, that wasn't 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud, Helen. Yeah, okay, I marked it wrong. That was my fault. Okay, totally my fault. So I marked it at some other measurement. 1/4 of an inch. I'm doing this with trying to look without getting my fat head in the, that is 1/4 of an inch here. Here, this big one. I had gone too far up. And it's kind of important, okay, that you don't go too far up. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay. Now the second one is at 1/2 an inch. That's better. Okay. All right. So I just basically have to ignore the middle mark that I made and just go with the two on the outside. Okay, there we go. All right. So there's 1/4 inch on this side, and that's the 1/2 an inch. There's the 1/4 inch on that side. Oops, sorry. And there's the 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. I'm using my crocodile. You're going to have to, if you don't have a crocodile, you're going to have to figure out what you have that's going to be able to go through the layers that you are wanting to punch through, okay? So I'm just lining this up and I'm punching through both. And my crocodile, and I don't know if yours does this, the stuff gets stuck in there sometimes, especially if it's something thick like this. And then I'm going to go up to my 1/2 an inch hole and I'm going to punch there. Okay. So I get to clean it out again. If you have a pokey tool, you know, and you can use your pokey tool, that's great, you know, whatever. But you're just going to have to figure that out. What do you have is going to go through all the layers that you're using, okay? All right. Okay, and then one more, and that's going to be the 1/2 an inch on this side. Okay, there we go. All right. And like I said, I'm sorry I cannot link the video to the person who did this. I'm going to get this video up, and if I have time to search some more, then I will show you who it is. Okay, so I have some elastic, some elastic cord that I got from Amazon, this big thing here. And we're gonna want, let's go with 3 lengths, I think, will be okay. 3 lengths of your inside cover, you know, your whatever, leather, cardboard, whatever, okay? And I'm not thinking I'm going to be able to get this through very easy. Oh, well, because of the fabric there. So somewhere here, I've got this ginormous, and I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this is a ginormous needle. This is like for a rug, a hook rug. I'm going to try use this and see if this is going to be a little bit easier for me. So if I remember correctly from looking at this thing, what I'm going to do, this is the outside, this is the inside. I am going to go in the bottom hole, the middle hole from the top, okay? I'll try to keep this in camera here. I'm going to go in there, and then I'm going to go through the top hole, bring it all the way down to the bottom hole, this one down here, and I'm going to go through that one, and then I'm going to go back up through this second hole here, like this, okay? Let me get that needle off to show you, all right? So I went, and I'm not actually sure if it matters if you go through the top to the bottom or which way, but anyway, you want to make sure that both of your ends are going to end up on the inside, okay? However you do it, you want to make sure both of your ends end up on the inside. Now, you want to pull it tight, but you don't want to pull it so tight that it does this, okay? Because by the time you get your things in there, it's just going to be really pulling down on your signatures. So you want it to tie it a little bit tight. Make sure they're both on one side there. You want to make sure it's not too loose, but not too tight at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this a tie here. And if you're someone who actually prefers to work on your journals like outside of the book and slide them back and forth, then definitely leave yours a little bit looser so that it's easy to slide yours back and forth, okay? So that is it, guys. That is basically it. So I think I'm going to, let me just test this knot. No, this is good and tight. I'm only going to do 2. I don't want it to get too bulky. So maybe you can cut a little less because you have to throw that little bit away. So that's it. That is the journal right there. So the only other thing we need to do is we need to, and let me get my 2 middle ones here and measure what we've got going on here. We need to take out this one, this cord here. Oops. Where's the other side? Here it is. Okay. Let me see if I can lay something in there so I know where to put it back. Okay, so this cord here, that's what was keeping the 2 together that was slipped underneath the other one. So I'm just trying to look at the height here on this, and it looks like it's about the height of this inside here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and I'm going to eyeball that. I'm going to give myself a little extra to tie the knot. And I'm going to, yeah, come down about here. And I'll tell you what the measurement is, just in case you're going to do a 7.5 by 11. I'll tell you what the measurement is after I cut it. Okay, so I think something about like this will work. And the actual length of this one is, come on, Helen, 12 and about 17 inches, okay, for the inside one. And so I'm just going to go ahead, go to the top, and I'm going to tie a knot, okay, just this kind, not, I'm just taking it here, rolling it around my finger, and stuffing it through, okay? This kind of knot, like this, okay? That's it right there, okay? And now these little ends here, you can cut them short too, not too short. You never want to cut them too short that you're going to compromise the strength of your knot. Okay, so guys, that's it. This is it for today. Next time I will show you how to put the how to make the inserts and how to put them in. So this is going to be the beginning of my new prayer journal. I love it already, and I love the feel of it, and I'll love it even more when it's big and chunky and full. But I hope that this inspires you to make one too. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Let me know if you're going to be making one. I'm so excited to hear if anybody is. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until the next video, guys, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.